So let's start. Hello everyone, I am Mehek and welcome to today's episode of Perimenopause, Menopause Unplugged, where we bring together the trusted experts to talk about the real issues that impact our everyday life. I am so glad that you are all tuning in because today we are talking about a topic that affects so many women and it is often left unspoken and untalked about. So, joining us today are two incredible women with years of experience in women's health. We have Dr. Ritu Sethi, a renowned gynecologist who's been helping women navigate hormonal changes and reproductive health for decades, and Ms. Vandana Chawla, a certified lactation expert and registered nutritionist who works closely with women on managing lifestyle, diet, holistic wellness during these transitional years, right? So let's begin by hearing a quick overview on the same from both our guests on the areas of expertise. So can we start, Ms. Dr. Sethi?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's start.
Yeah, so I would like to know a little bit on the topic that we are going to talk about.
Okay. So, first of all, thank you for inviting me on this platform about a topic women usually dread speaking about. They think, and families usually think that it's something very, it's not something, the concerns are not to be taken seriously. So, we are here to dispel the myths that yes, menopause is for real. The symptoms which a woman is feeling, like mood swings, like hot flashes, they are for real. And it has to be taken just another transition in her life, not to get very hassled about, but yes, not a matter of concern. But in case the symptoms are too severe, please do meet your doctor. Rather, I would suggest all women who are experiencing menopause, please do go and meet your nutritionist, go and meet your doctor, because you need extra help at this point of time. Just little bit of hand holding would be enough for everybody. No, not too much of medications would be required, because in the Indian setup, it's like menopause is not something which we've seen our mothers also going through. बहुत ज्यादा mood swings हैं, बात बात पे रोना आ रहा है, those kind of things. You suddenly start feeling very, you start gaining a lot of weight, you feel aches and pains all over. But I would just suggest to the family, the main concern here is not just to the women, also to their families, that yes, please do take her symptoms seriously. Because once this transition goes off smoothly, everything is smooth sailing later on. But you have to address her concerns with, take them quite seriously and not just brush them under the carpet saying that this is not something, that probably she's making up, her symptoms or imagining things. No, these aches and pains, these hot flashes, these mood swings, they are for real, and they are linked to another chapter in a woman's life, which is called menopause.
Thank you so much. And over to Ms. Vandana for the same.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, everyone, for organizing this. And I really thank Dr. Ritu for taking out time for, she's been so busy and still she has taken out time for this webinar to create awareness about menopause. Now, regarding diet and nutrition, I would like to say that diet plays a very important role in managing the symptoms which Dr. Ritu just now mentioned. The most commonest thing which I have come across and which women come to me is for weight gain. And suddenly they say that all during these periods and all these during these times that they have remained quite slim and they have been maintaining their body weight, but suddenly around 40s or late 40s or beginning of 50s they start observing weight gain, particularly abdominal weight gain, which is always at risk. And the reason for that is that if there is a metabolism which is slowing down, there is increase in insulin resistance, because of which there is excessive fat storage that is happening in the body. And plus, at the same time, there is also an increased risk to diabetes, plus because of the estrogen which is falling or starts to fall during the perimenopause, and again during menopause, when there is a really fall in the levels of estrogen, it has an impact on their heart health and on many other vital organs. So therefore, most important thing is that you have to focus on a balanced diet. You have to go for a diet which is a mix of healthy fats, healthy carbs, proteins, and antioxidants. You have to opt for foods that have low to moderate GI. When I I say GI, it is basically we are protecting you from diabetes. So very important is that you have to go for high fiber foods. You have to go for lentils, beans, your typical homemade foods, lot of veggies and fruits to be included in the diet. Another important thing is at this time when you see the weight gain happening, do not start with skipping of meals. Do not go for any kind of fat diets, but because that can further ruin your health and ruin your condition. Avoid any kind of processed foods or foods with added sugar because they can aggravate some of your symptoms, particularly your hot flashes or the night sweats that you experience during this time. And most importantly is that at this time, homemade food is something with a variety is something a key to the good health. Mindful eating is also very important. That means that you should be eating when you are hungry, listening to the hunger cues, listening to the cues that you are full, and eat without distraction. Do not eat when you are depressed or when you are feeling sad, and enjoy every bite that you are putting into your mouth. And also learn to portion your food. Finally, not just the diet, it is also the physical activity, which is equally important because that will calm you, that will keep your metabolism also steady. Plus, at the same time, it will remove a lot of stress from your body. So, whichever activity that you are interested in, whether it is dance, whether it is aerobics, whether it is yoga, whether it is a brisk walk with your family or with your friends, whatever that interests you, take up some form of physical activity because that I tell all my clients is a must to start with a physical activity because the endorphins that are released during your exercise time, that will keep you happy. These are the happy hormones which will keep you happy, which will keep you relaxed, and which will take your entire day in a good stride for you. So, as Dr. Ritu said, I again would like to repeat the same thing, that it is a change which comes, which happens in every woman. Take this change in your stride, be prepared for it, and do not shy away from it. Do not feel low, do not feel sad. You are a woman, a strong woman, and you can handle all the stresses. You have been handling a lot of stresses and challenges in your life. This is just another challenge which has come in front of you. And if you have the right experts, the doctors in front of you, you have the nutritionists, you have the health experts, you have the physical experts with you, you can handle, plus your family, which is the biggest support for you. When you have all this around you, you can definitely handle all these challenges very comfortably and very easily.
Thank you both for that insightful background. So now let's dive into the conversation. Swati, you had something to say?
Yes, ma'am. To Ritu, ma'am. Ma'am, this is ma'am. The hormonal health is always like attacked by on in every stage in women's life. So, what are the hormonal changes a woman faces in this perimenopause and menopause phase?
See, perimenopause is something which is preceding menopause. In Indian women, the menopausal age usually is between 47 to 49 years because of our nutritional status, which is changing now, obesity, which is coming in. Now it is, we take up till the age of 51, 52 to be normal for a woman to be having her period, menopause not getting attained. Perimenopause is the time before menopause when your menses start getting irregular. Slowly, you start gaining weight, your skin becomes dry, flaky. Your sexual health, yes, goes for a toss. Your bone health decreases. So this time can last from even up till 10 years before menopause actually sets in. There's no actually timeline that this is going to start between 1 year, 2 year, 10. Some women start having perimenopausal symptoms even 10 years before menopause has actually set in. So it's a gradual, it may be gradual for most women that, you slowly, your periods are becoming irregular. You are probably spotting off and on. And this goes on for years together. And suddenly, for a complete year, you don't get your period, which we term as menopause. For some women, this may be a little abrupt that suddenly you realize that your period hasn't come for a year. This may again be normal, or some women may face a lot of challenges, lot of problems during this perimenopausal transition. These challenges can be in the form of very heavy menstrual bleeding. Usually, I see women coming to me with problems like very heavy bleeding for the past few months. They are in their 40s and they tell me, the doctor, I'm bleeding like a tap. And this doesn't seem to stop. Rather, I'm dreading my period because when it's going to start, I don't know. When it's going to stop, I have no clue about. So, how do I actually carry out my day to day activities? I feel weak all day long. So this is also a very troublesome feature of the perimenopausal transition, which is going to be different for every lady. So, like I said, it's an entire spectrum. It can last for years in some women. In some women, it can be suddenly abrupt. And some women may have a very troublesome perimenopausal transition once menopause actually sets in.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This was very insightful. Nikita, can you please continue with the
Yeah.
conversation?
Yeah. Vanda ma'am, this is for you. You spoke about heart health being impacted, during this during this phase of perimenopause and menopause. Like you mentioned about various things that we need to take in diet. What exactly a woman staying at home or a working woman, how can they take right steps to ensure that they are having the right nutrition in this phase of their life? Yeah. Thank you, Nikita, for this question. Yes, as I said earlier, also that menopause definitely increases the risk of developing heart disease. Again, so much Dr. Ritu has already told us about estrogen and how it is falling, and it starts to fall during perimenopause, followed by menopause. So, estrogen plays a it is a protective factor for the heart, and therefore, heart disease, diabetes, all these are are at risk, when they get into the state of perimenopause or menopause. So it is not just the weight gain, but weight gain becomes one of the symptom and one of the causes for the upcoming diseases like heart health or diabetes. And another important thing is that we have to make sure that whatever foods that they're eating, it is a heart healthy diet. Because when I say heart healthy diet, this diet is also going to protect them and keep diabetes at bay for them, and ensure that diabetes risk is reduced to the maximum. So the tips that they have to follow is, number one, what I would suggest is that they have to switch over from saturated to unsaturated fats. When we say that, it simply means that cut down on any of the fatty meats, cut down on the lower fat intake, go for more of low saturated oils. Low saturated oils could be something like vegetable oils or the seed oils which are available. There are variety of those available. Again, there is a lot of controversy which is going on between the cold press oils and the refined oils. Definitely cold press oils are better, but then there are variations in that also. Cold press oils turns out to be a little more expensive than the refined oils, and again, cold press oils cannot withstand high temperatures as compared to the refined oils. So you have to have a moderation of both these oils and switching from one oil to another, but at the same time always focus on the low saturated oils. Then choose low fat dairy also. That's also important. Do not remove the dairy thinking that it is high fat dairy, but again, go for the low fat dairy, because whether it is milk, whether it is your cheese, whether it is homemade paneer, whether it is yogurt, because you need that protein, you need that calcium which is coming from the dairy. Also, at the same time, choose healthy cooking methods like air frying, like grilling, like roasting, and the total fat intake that has to be completely reduced. And also at the same time, reduce your food intake from outside, like from restaurants, because they are always loaded with cream and with lots of fat. So that can be done on occasional basis. I'm not saying that completely remove them from your diet, but that should be on occasional basis. Then increase your intake of nuts, seeds, beans, and pulses, because these are the lean sources of protein, which is giving you high healthy carbs, which is giving you good amount of fiber, but at the same time the fat content is very less. They are also filling foods, because they fill your stomach and you remain full for a longer period of time, and that will also help to control the insulin levels also, plus your fat intake is also reduced, plus your total calorie intake is also reduced. Increase the intake of omega-3s, which can come through walnuts, through flax seeds and chia seeds. And flax seeds is also known to have a good impact on some of the symptoms related to menopause, like hot flashes. And then overall, reduce your intake of refined sugars like sweets, like cakes and soft drinks. I'm just saying reduce your intake. I'm not saying completely remove them from your diet. So when we say reduce intake, is that if you are taking, let's say, 3 to 4 teaspoons of sugar in a day, I would say gradually bring it to 2 teaspoons in a day, then bring it to 1 teaspoon in a day, and then see how your body is reacting. And if you are comfortable, you can remove your sugar from your tea and coffee completely. So the total sugar intake has to be completely reduced, because they are not providing you any nutrient, but it is just empty calories that you are getting from it. Overall intake of your fruits and vegetables have to be increased, because they are great sources of antioxidants, they are great sources of minerals and fibers which your body requires at during this stage of your life, and plus the fiber rich food. So don't just focus on whole wheat. That me I always tell women who come to me is that think beyond atta. There are so many things that you can do without atta also. You can go for so many millets that are available, you can use that. Different type of flours which are available, you can make use of that. So it is not that you have to completely remove the wheat flour from your diet, but you can definitely, rather than the whole day 3 meals you are having made basically based upon wheat flour, at least 1 or 2 meals can be coming from other millets or other types of flours, like we can say, when we talk about millets, it is ragi, jowar, bajra, all those. And even now we have the lentil flours also available, like we have the chickpea flour, which is, or the chana flour which is available, or the moong dal flour, or the lentil flour which is available, or even the almond flour or the coconut flour. These are different types which can be just added 1 to 2 teaspoons into your whole wheat, and that will make it healthy also. It will add fiber also, plus it will add protein also to your diet. So go think about these kind of small changes that you can make in your day-to-day diet, and this will not only keep you healthy, but at the same time fulfill all your nutritional needs also at this stage, plus keep your bones, skin, your heart all healthy. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. That was quite a good detailed understanding of various maintaining the nutrition triangle. Thank you for that. Shri, if you could take the next.
Hello, Vandana ma'am. Hello, Ritu ma'am.
Yeah.
My question for Ritu ma'am. Ma'am, how does perimenopause impact bone health?
Yes, perimenopause definitely impacts your bone health, because now all the since estrogen is known to be protective towards the bone, and it is what is depositing calcium in your bones. So once estrogen is away from your body, the estrogen levels have crashed because your ovaries are no longer working normally. What happens is that because estrogen levels have suddenly gone down, osteoporosis starts to set in. The body is not able to retain the calcium, which, even if you're taking a good calcium diet, normal diet, it's not able to kind of deposit the calcium in your bones. So at this time, at this point of time, you need extra calcium supplements so that your bone health remains normal, and later on you are not going in for fractures, stress fractures, or we see elderly women who suddenly fall down somewhere and they have a fracture of the neck of the femur in the long bones. So long bone fractures usually come because women are not careful during their menopausal years about their calcium intake. So menopause affects your bone health tremendously, and it's very important for, like Vandana ma'am mentioned, it's very important for all women to take good calcium supplements and to take a good rethink about their diet during this time.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, as you were saying about the calcium supplements, so Ritu ma'am and Vandana ma'am both, are there any home sources for calcium, like soya milk or something we can go for? Like everybody is not in take of supplements, so can we get a home source for these things for calcium, especially?
Milk is a dairy products are excellent sources of calcium. You can take paneer, curd, homemade curd is good, cheese is good, like I said, paneer is good, a extra glass of milk, walnuts, and are extremely good in calcium. And some foods like mushrooms and beans, they're also very rich in calcium. So in case a woman is taking all these, definitely the calcium is going to be replaced to a large extent. And also do good exercise. Exercise also increases the calcium uptake by the bones. So it's very important for all women to also do good exercise, like we mentioned earlier.
Okay. So Vandana ma'am, yes ma'am, sure ma'am, well, ma'am, yes.
Just about talking about calcium, and what about magnesium? I mean, the mood
Yes.
swings. I
Yes.
think magnesium is very important in this case. Yes.
Yes.
What
Yes.
are
Yes.
herbs or food that help the swing, the mood swings? Please, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, magnesium is important. Very true.
Yes, Rim. And I just would like to add to this that magnesium helps to maintain the bone density and also reduces the risk of osteoporosis, which
Yes.
just now Dr. Ritu also mentioned. And good sources of magnesium would be again the whole grains that we take, or the nuts, the seeds, the green leafy vegetables like spinach, or even the buckwheat flour, avocados. These are great sources of magnesium which can be included. Other than the calcium, I would say even vitamin D is very important for the bone health, because vitamin D is the one which actually helps in the transport of calcium to the bones. So therefore, vitamin D is something, the deficiency of which I would definitely, and even Dr. Ritu would agree with the clients that she's getting, that vitamin D deficiency is also on the rise these days. And therefore, it is very important that women, as Dr. Ritu said earlier also, that women, when they are in the perimenopause or in the menopause state, they should go for their regular checkups of all these calcium levels, vitamin D levels, so that to make sure that they are not deficient from any of these nutrients, because they are going to impact the bone health. And if they are deficient, definitely supplements have to be started, because this deficiency can be treated by supplements. And once the normal levels are attained, then it is the foods which play a very important role in keeping that maintenance or keeping that levels at the normal, within the normal range. So therefore, food also equally plays an important role. But whenever you start with your supplements, my advice always to all my clients is, please do consult your doctors. Please, you have to make sure that what supplements you have to take, what is the dosage, for how long you have to take those supplements. That is something very important, and that advice can be only given by your doctor, and by not by your friends or not by the pharmacist, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I guess Rakhi, you wanted to speak on something.
Yes. Hello, ma'am. I have question for Vanna ma'am and Ritu ma'am both. Uh, First, I would like to ask, ki, why are women reaching this menopause stage so early as compared to women uh, nowadays, like in my family, only some women who are just 30, 35 are reaching this stage. And this endometriosis, fibroids, and uterus removal thing is happening a lot. So why is this happening? Even women who are very active are going through this. So is it just stress or something else?
See, most of it has to do with the environment. Like women, I've seen even young girls who are not even married in their late 20s who are attaining menopause. Again, infections are very much on the rise, and tuberculosis is one such infection. Endometriosis, which are large cysts in the ovaries, also lead to infertility, and menopause can happen earlier, because I say endometriosis or cyst in the ovaries are something like Dimak. जो ovaries में, it will sit in the ovaries, and slowly all your eggs are going to get consumed by the cyst. So because of these problems which are happening more and more these days amongst women, and genetic programming, if your mother or sister has attained an early menopause, definitely you are going to have an early menopause also. Chances are more. It's not going to be 100%, but definitely chances are more. So this is the main reason why young girls, I see girls as young as in their late 20s getting menopause. They're not even married. And imagine telling an unmarried girl who's just in her 20s that your fertility is now over. So it's a lot of trauma for the girl also, and how to break it to her family also, that now she's already attained menopause at such a young age. But again, these are mostly because of genetic programming, one, and environment, the pollution which is happening, which is affecting all aspects, and especially the ovaries. So what happens in menopause is that the ovaries suddenly give up, and they become dead. They stop secreting their hormones, and this is what is exactly happening in young girls. Now, regarding fibroids and uterus removal surgeries, that is again because the detection is now more and the awareness is more. That is why the fibroids and all this are increasing, because women are going in for regular health checks. But definitely the problems are much more than what they were 5 years back. And after COVID, again, after COVID, I have seen a drastic change in women who are getting menopause much earlier. So I tell all young girls that please do go ahead and plan your families as soon as possible, because when things can take a turn for the worse, nobody really knows.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally
Also,
agree with
ma'am,
Dr. Ritu. Whatever she said is absolutely, absolutely correct. Like, even when I get some clients, I am just seeing the same cases that at very young age, they're experiencing a lot of problems. And it is not just the menopause, but also the heart disease, the diabetes, everything we are seeing in young girls, even in teenagers, we are seeing their blood sugar levels are on the high, or already we see that their LDL cholesterol levels are on the high. So this is something very sad scenario that we are looking at it. So it is definitely the food is also playing a very important role in the sense that there is too much consumption of we call it as the processed food or ultra processed food which has come up in the market. So too much of chemicals, because when we say processed or ultra processed food, these foods are nothing but just loaded with chemicals, additives, flavors, flavorings, which we really do not know what all things are being there, which our parents or our grandparents were not taking. It was basically the simple homemade food which was there, which they were consuming. And plus, as you said, so much of stress of today's world and so much of environmental pollutants, all of these are playing a havoc on our life. But it is not that the scenario is so dark that we can change it. The choice is always in our hands. That again, we say that if we take the right steps at the right time, we can definitely protect the coming generations and also protect ourselves from these kind of diseases, and we can take a charge of these conditions or the problems that we are facing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
ma'am, you told us about the foods we should take, but can you please also guide on the number of meals, because that is too much on the internet. Do intermediate fasting, 3 times a meal, like do something that suits your body, something that suits your lifestyle. But most of us are in sedentary to moderate lifestyle. So what should someone decide and know that okay, this is finally suiting my body? Because in some things you feel light in intermediate fasting, but 3 times a meal gives you more energy. So how do you decide?
True. Raki, I would like to say one thing, that the answer to all your questions is one: just listen to your body. Your body is the best organ, which the body is telling you all the signals is coming from your body itself. So try to listen to your body. Yes, intermittent fasting definitely has a very good impact on the body, and a lot of good results have also been coming from the from intermittent fasting. But again, there are different types of intermittent fasting that you can go for. You can go for, we can say, 14 to 10 hour of fasting, where 14 hours you are fasting and 10 hours is the eating window. Or even you can go for something like we can say you are fasting for, let's say, about 18 hours and 6 hours is a window for your eating. Then there are some very strict ones which are going for 5:2, which is said to be a warrior diet. 5:2 is where 5 days you fast and 2 days are the 5 days you eat, and 2 days are the days which are non-consecutive days when you completely fast and you are only on liquids, and that too no milk and no dairy is to be taken. So it is then one of the latest study which was being conducted in University of Illinois, which showed that women who were on these warrior diets, which is 5:2, they found that the hormone levels of DHEA, which is one of the fertility hormone, that had drastically reduced in these young women. So it had an impact on their hormone levels also. So therefore, rather than going for these drastic diets, I would say that you start with the diet that suits you. Let's say if the diet, like, which is 14:10, 14 hours of fasting and 10 hours of the eating window, if that suits you, go ahead with that. But then the most important thing is stick to that diet. Another important thing is what you are eating during this period is very important. Whatever wholesome foods and whole diets or the balanced diet which I explained to you just now, consume those kind of foods. That is also important. Then another thing that you asked us about the 3-day meal to be taken or not. Now there is another concept which has come up, and which is like snackable nutrition, which the latest generation is talking about, that the whole day there is no fixed meals, but the whole day they are snacking on certain types of foods. Now this snackable nutrition that we are talking about, again, it can be healthy depending upon what you are having during those snacks. If they are packed with high protein, high fibers, then it will keep you full for the next 2 hours. They may appear as snacks, but they're actually not snack. For example, a protein smoothie, which is not with protein powders but with natural foods. Or you can say a salad bowl which is made of chickpeas, which is made of quinoa, which is made of nuts and this thing. Again, if you can have these kind of meals throughout the day and you are happy with it, fine. But Can you listen to your body and ask yourself, can you stick to these kind of diets for the rest of your life? If the answer is yes, go ahead with it. But again, you have to consult some expert to make sure that your diet is well balanced and all the nutrients are there into your diet, and you do not end up into any kind of nutritional deficiencies. Some people do say that they are following, or some celebrities do talk about the keto diets and they have been losing so much of weight, but are they able to maintain keto diet for the rest of their life? That is something very difficult to answer. Also, only you can answer this. And therefore, these diets, if they are not well planned, then whatever problems that just now Dr. Ritu said about whether it is bone health or your skin health or your hair health, everything gets impacted if it is deficient in many of the nutrients. So already your body is undergoing a lot of transition, and on top of it, if you want to have these kind of diets, then I would rather say that whichever diet you take up, please listen to yourself, listen to your body, ask certain questions from your body. And if you are able to handle it, then take an expert advice who can give you a diet plan, which is something very personalized diet plan based upon what your likes and dislikes, what your cultural issues are, based upon all that, and then accordingly go ahead with that diet plan. But remember one thing, if you do not stick to that for long, then again the weight regain would happen, nutritional deficiencies would happen, and a lot of other issues and problems can set up.
Yeah, I just have one last question. Now again, these things, waters, different kind of waters people are suggesting. If like people going through menopause, most of them have diabetes or thyroid or something like that. So some people say drink this water in the morning, drink this water. So are there any scientific resources behind this? Are they really helpful?
Research is still going on, and it is just not one thing. It is not like a magic pill which can make wonders and suddenly boost up your estrogen levels, or suddenly bring your weight down, or burn your fat, or there is something as detoxifying. See, I always say detoxic things is something which is a myth, because it is our body itself is having some beautiful organs like kidney and liver, which are the best detoxifying organs, which the body can do. The most of the toxins can easily be removed. Only thing is, I always force upon is, or emphasize upon is, go for a balanced, wholesome meal. The traditional, which our, when just now you said that why our grandparents or great grandparents were not suffering. Yes, totally agree with Dr. Ritu that there was less awareness and people were not going for the regular checkups. That is definitely true. But at the same time, have we also looked at what kind of diets were they consuming? We have not seen that. They were just having a simple wholesome meal of roti, sabzi, dal, chawal. It was a simple meal that they were going. There was no much, things added into it. Why can't we go back into our simple traditional meals? And Rim, since you are not from India, I would like to just tell you that even the Mediterranean diet, which has been taken by people, is considered now as one of the best diet that, people can consume, because it is having everything that we spoke of, whether it is lean proteins or healthy carbs or the healthy fats. It is made up of all that, and that is also equally important. So therefore, we are forgetting, whether it is India or any other country, we are forgetting our traditional diets, we are forgetting our traditional foods, and that is where. So here you're talking about water. Yes, I have heard about different types of water, which are they're calling it as alkaline waters or ionic waters or different types of water. But I would just say, whatever your body is used to, having a simple plain water, keep yourself well hydrated. Keeping yourself well hydrated is very important, because particularly during perimenopause and menopause, because you are going through hot flashes and night sweats, you are losing a lot of fluid from your body. And if you do not like water, go for simple infused water. If not that, then simple nimbu pani. If not that, then simple chas can is also good enough for you to keep yourself, or coconut water is good enough to keep yourself well hydrated. So it is not that we have to go with these fancy names to think that only this can work as a magical pill for me and can help me to solve a lot of my own problems.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Excuse me. My question is to Dr. Ritu. I have a friend of mine that said she's taking pills to stop the period. It's about hormones or something. She's in Tunisia. But do you think it's good to stop it? Her doctor decided that. But for me, I'm having the opposite of what you're talking about. I'm losing weight. I lost about 15 kilos in 1 year. So, and having mood swings, lack of energy, and of course the sweating in the night, the hot flashes. But my period is regular. I have it, and it comes for 9 days. I have the what is it? CIU, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, IUS, right?
Yes, sorry, I inverted it. So you are talking about getting the intermittent fasting, etc. For me, the fasting, we have fasting also. So it was terrible for me. It got me very low energy. I was very bad mood. So I'm having the opposite of what they are talking about. Do you think a peri could help and still regular? I have it each month. The interval is 28 days only. It comes sometimes at the beginning and at the end. So what do you think? Shall I go with the nature and be patient, or see a doctor and decide to stop it? What do you think?
No, no. See, it depends. If your friend is being given medication to stop the period, maybe she's having very heavy menses.
Yes, yes.
Otherwise, yes. So definitely her doctor will be putting on her on hormones to decrease her bleeding. Maybe it's too heavy. That is why, but that is normal.
Mhm.
Only medications have to be taken to stop the period only after taking a proper biopsy from the uterus, which is called a, or after doing a DNC or taking an endometrial biopsy. We can't be putting any woman on hormones without doing a proper checkup first, because it is not just menopause. We can't just brush it off as menopausal symptoms. It has to be ruled. Other things also have to be ruled out before any patient is put on hormones. So first a proper workup is required. Then an endometrial biopsy should be taken. Only that after that, if it comes out to be clear, are hormones recommended to stop the period. In case it doesn't stop, only then surgery is advised. This is how it is planned. But yes, it is normal to give hormones to stop the period at an age in which you are going to experience menopause anytime, after only a proper workup has been done.
Mhm. Thank you. It means it's better to let nature work. I'm just 47, so still I have time. Yes?
Yes, 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 yes,
Thank you.
yes. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Right. Anybody would like to ask any questions? Shiksha, you had any question? No. Anyways, no, Nikita,
Okay.
you have anything?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
My name is Shiksha. Hello, Vandana ma'am. Hello, Ritu ma'am.
Yeah.
Hi.
See, since you all were talking about the supplements and the balanced diet, so what exercise would you recommend for at this particular phase,
So
like gymming or walking?
I would recommend 45 minutes of moderate exercise, which can also include cardio and weights, which is perfectly okay. 5 days a week is perfectly fine. You can go for swimming in case you enjoy the activity. This much of physical activity is enough for all women, but it has to be done routinely and regularly. Even gymming can be done, provided you are comfortable doing it. I have no objections to a female to a woman going for gymming at in the perimenopausal time also, but provided that she's not having high blood pressure issues. Some women tend to have a lot of chest pain after doing. I see many patients coming to me, doctor, I went to the gym today, suddenly I experienced severe chest pain. So once you come down to checking their BP and all, it's very high. So you should be aware of your medical history before you take up exercises in the gym, but a routine walk would do most patients good.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah. And as Dr. Ritu said, I'll just add on one more thing, that this, as she said about the weight training or the muscle strength, because muscle strength build-up is something which is very important during this age. And this is a time when muscle mass loss is also happening. So whether you go with the resistance training exercises or simple, I would say going for Pilates or yoga is also going to help you. So just listen to your body, just see which suits you well. And as Dr. Ritu said, that if there is any kind of discomfort that you feel during the exercise or after the exercise, it is always better to speak to the doctor, consult the doctor immediately, and then do not get scared about the exercise part, but rather take up another form of exercise, but continue with your physical activity.
Yes.
Right. Anybody would like to ask another question, or shall we move on?
Hello, I'm Swati. I have a question from Dr. Ritu and Dr. Vandana. Good afternoon. My question is कि अगर हम after having post menopause period, क्या हम अपना डायबिटीज रिवर्स कर सकते हैं, और कर सकते हैं तो what should be the diet, what should be the exercise, which form of exercise helps a lot, ये सारे क्वेश्चंस उनका आंसर.
देखिए, डायबिटीज आप रिवर्स डेफिनेटली कर सकते हैं किसी भी स्टेज पर. वो
ओके.
डिपेंड करता है आपके लाइफस्टाइल और डाइट के ऊपर. इट्स नॉट कि अगर आपने डायबिटीज की मेडिसिन आपको स्टार्ट हो गई, इट्स गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू फॉर यू फॉर लाइफ लॉन्ग. If you are still undergoing unhealthy, if your lifestyle is unhealthy, if you're having genetic problems with your diabetes, then definitely it's difficult to reverse it. But with good lifestyle and diet, the dose of insulin can definitely be reduced. With type 2 diabetes, it is a totally reversible condition, again, depending upon your lifestyle and your diet. So diabetes can be reversed. Only thing is depends upon how severe it is, what are your HbA1c levels, what is your current work profile, how much, what is your lifestyle, how much stress you are taking, what is your weight, what is your body mass index. It all depends on that. But yes, it can be reversed.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Thank
as
you.
Dr. Ritu said, that it is important that you have to, it can be reversed through diet and through lifestyle changes. And when it comes to diet, you have to have a proper, like you have to consult someone to, some expert to make sure that your diet is also well-planned diet for you, because you can't keep yourself too hungry. You can't have long gaps between your two meals. It is also the diet which is planned is according to what medication the doctors have prescribed to you, because everything is working together. And finally, physical exercise is something which is really very important, because physical exercise will help not only to make your insulin resistance, which is there, which is resulting in blood sugar levels going up, even that can be kept under control or under check. So therefore, exercise is equally important as much as diet is. And plus, of course, whatever medication that you are taking, even that can be. And I have heard of cases where when they have followed right kind of diet and right kind of exercises, their medication has been reduced. Whatever that they have been taking, that has been reduced. So it definitely has an impact on it. But only thing is, you have to stick to it. You have to make it, when we say it is a lifestyle, means for the rest of the life, this becomes your style. This becomes your regular habit that you have to follow for the rest of your life. Right?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your answer.
I think we should be stop. I think we should call it a day today, because it's been a long talk for all of us. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And we will be taking more sessions like this in the near future, definitely. And please keep all your questions ready for the next session also. The topic we'll be deciding and informing everyone in a few days.
Yeah. All right. So I hope that has answered all your queries, guys. And in case you have any other questions, please feel free to ask in the comment sections, and it will be reverted by both Ms. Vandana Chawla and Dr. Sethi. Also, we have learned that menopause is in the end. It's a new beginning. And with that, the right support, it can be a smooth and empowering transition. So big thank you, Dr. Ritu Sethi and Ms. Vandana Chawla, for joining us for this. Also, we'll be sharing their website and Instagram handle along with their contact information, so that you can reach out to them individually. Yeah. So until next time, take care and stay well.
Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.